2018 Range Rover Velar. We're suckers for a rig this stylish. Despite the intrinsic constraints that an SUV's utilitarian packaging can place on its designers, few can argue with the truly fetching two-box form that Jaguar Land Rover's sculptors have made for the new 2018 Range Rover Velar crossover. But the Velar is more than just a pretty face positioned in the middle of Range Rover's lineup of luxury utes. It also is outfitted with JLR's new dual-screen capacitive touch infotainment interface, which bolsters its case as a compelling subject for the 40,000-mile obstacle course that is our long-term test regimen. While the Velar plays in a segment that includes the Audi Q5 and the BMW X3, its 189.1-inch length puts it curiously close to the larger Range Rover Sport, not to mention within spitting distance of the Jaguar F-Pace and the Land Rover Discovery within the JLR empire. Generous cargo space is a result of its sizable footprint, as the Velar tops its class with 34 cubic feet of storage behind the second row and 70 cubes with the 40/20/40 split folding rear seats stowed almost flat. Dressed to impress. We've had ample experience with JLR's supercharged 30-liter V6, which, along with a turbocharged 20-liter diesel inline 4, serves as the Velar's up-level powertrain. So for this test we deferred to its base engine, a gasoline-burning turbo 20-liter inline 4. Output is a decent 247 horsepower at 5,500 revolutions per minute and 269 pounds-to-feet of torque at just 1,200 revs. A ZF-sourced 8-speed automatic is included, as is a full-time all-wheel drive system with Rover's terrain response system of selectable driving modes: Eco, Dynamic, Comfort, Grass/Gravel/Snow, Mud, Ruts, and Sand. Compared with the V6-powered Velar P380 model we previously tested, our 4,392-pound long-term vehicle weighs 284 pounds less. Pricing for the entry-level P250 trim level starts at $50,895, but MSRPs can top $90,000 with the V6 and a handful of options, including numerous interior color schemes and trim finishes. Our P250R Dynamic SA test car, which sits one rung below the top-spec R Dynamic HSE model, started at $61,095 and features a coil spring suspension rather than the adaptive air springs that come with the V6, brake-based torque vectoring, full LED head and tail lights, and darkened 20-inch wheels. 18 to 22 inches are available, wrapped with Pirelli Scorpion Vert all-season tires, size 255/50R20. Other standard SA equipment includes automated emergency braking, lane departure warning, a driver condition monitor, a 360-degree surround view parking assistant, specific front and rear fasces, heated and power folding exterior mirrors with puddle lamps, and copper-colored accents on the hood and front flanks. The Velar's concept car presentation carries into the modernist cabin with a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, on same models and above, and the twin 100-inch in-control Touch Pro Duo infotainment screens in the center stack. Materials, including the satin aluminum trim pieces and the geometric pattern dash and door inserts, are attractive and feel high in quality. And there are ample amenities, including a panoramic sunroof, keyless entry and start, dual-zone automatic climate control, navigation, and an 825-watt Meridian audio system with 17 speakers. Helping to inflate our example's final tally to $67,235 was a $610 coat of Santrini black paint and the $1,495 Drive Pro package, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, lane keeping assist, and traffic sign recognition. We also tacked on $1,330 for front seat heating and ventilation and heated rear seats, $615 for SiriusXM satellite radio, and $580 for the on-off-road package's adaptive terrain response 2 system, all-terrain progress control, low-speed off-road cruise control, and configurable chassis and powertrain settings. Other extras included a $510 power-adjustable steering column, a $385 heated windshield, a $255 heated steering wheel, $205 for Argento pinstripe interior trim, and $155 for a pair of USB ports in the second row. Hitting the road. While our long-termer's black exterior and rose goldish trim elements lend it a somewhat sinister vibe versus warmer color combinations we've seen, the Velar's chop-top silhouette and striking interior decor have earned it plenty of admirers. The power-extending door handles are a bit gimmicky and they advertise when the vehicle is left unlocked, but overall the Velar positively nails the Range Rover aesthetic. That it arrived at CDHQ in February prompted us to fit a set of O-size Pirelli Scorpion winter tires, $250 each from Tire Rack, to get us through Michigan's remaining cold months. A lengthy 2,000-mile break-in period and extended winter weather delayed both our reinstallation of the all-season rubber and our visit to the test track. When we finally got there, the Velar did the 0 to 60 mph dash in a modest 7.4 seconds and covered the quarter mile in 15.7 at 89 mph, adequately peppy but well off the 380 horsepower V6's times of 5.7 and 14.2 seconds. Its so-so 0.84 grams of stick on the skid pad is par for the segment, as is its 174-foot stop from 70 mph. We've otherwise taken it easy on the Velar, with initial logbook observations noting the ample power from the 20-liter engine but also some unimpressive clatter at idle. The P250 moves with little athleticism, and its tonnage means the four-cylinder rarely gets a break, but the 8-speed automatic shifts unobtrusively and pairs well with the engine's surge of low-end torque. the Velar never goads us into searching out back roads. Its competent body control and generally comfortable suspension make it an easy cruiser elsewhere. Less favorable have been the reactions to the P250's fuel economy, which is EPA estimated at 21 miles per gallon city and 27 highway. We've averaged only 20 miles per gallon thus far, which, with the Velar's rather small 16.6-gallon fuel tank, means we're usually filling up every 300 miles or so. Even at the 26 miles per gallon that our long-termer returned on our 75-mile-per-hour highway test loop, that's only about 400 miles between fill-ups. Blame the Velar's hefty curb weight for much of its thirst. The P250's 23-mile-per-gallon combined rating is 3 miles per gallon better than the more powerful supercharged V6s. A familiar future. Electronic gremlins have plagued several recent JLR test cars, including our last long-term Range Rover, a 2016 TD6 diesel model, so it was with mild trepidation that we welcomed this specimen into our fleet. It's not surprising, then, that the most prominent comments in the Velar's logbook have centered on its high-tech computer interface. For all its functionality and high-resolution graphics, the learning curve is relatively steep, and its extensive configurability has prompted even tech-savvy drivers to chide it for being overly complex. Others have acclimated more quickly, but having so few physical controls on hand means that interacting with the two tablets on the console is impossible to avoid.